Welcome to the deep dive. Today, really getting into the nitty-gritty of building an online business that actually works.
Yeah, we've pulled together some key ideas from Russell Brunson's stuff, .com secrets, expert secrets, lead funnels, traffic secrets, lots of material there.
Exactly. And our mission really is to unpack these strategies. We want to figure out actionable steps for, guiding customers, building real value, connecting with people.
And it's interesting, the starting point in a lot of this material, it suggests that if your online business is struggling, say, you're not getting sales, the issue might not actually be traffic or even conversions, surprisingly.
Right. Not the obvious things you'd check first.
Often it digs deeper. It's about the underlying sales process itself, the funnel.
Okay, let's talk about that funnels. There's a great example, FitLife.tv, Drew's company. They were absolutely convinced they had a traffic problem.
A conversion problem. They saw people visiting, but not enough were buying. Classic scenario.
So they're looking at website hits, click-through rates.
Right, the surface metrics. But when they really analyzed it, the problem wasn't the number of people or even necessarily the sales page itself. It was the journey they were taking people on.
The sequence of steps.
Exactly. That's the funnel. It's that strategic process guiding potential customers from, just hearing about you to actually becoming a loyal customer.
So it's way more than just like having a product for sale, like putting a book up on a website and hoping people buy it.
Oh, definitely. That's just one piece. The sources really hammer home this idea of needing a full value ladder.
The value ladder. Okay, explain that a bit more.
Think of it visually. It's like steps going up. Each step offers more value to the customer and usually involves a higher price point or commitment.
So you start low.
Yeah, you start with bait, something free or super low cost, just to get their attention, bring them into your world.
Like a free guide or a checklist?
Exactly. Then you have the front end, offer maybe your main introductory product. Then the middle, maybe more advanced training or services. And finally, back end, your highest value, often highest priced stuff.
The potato gun story really illustrates this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Brunson's selling the DVD on how to build one.
Right, that was the front end. But then he added steps.
Yeah, he offered the actual plans. The do-it-yourself guide, and even the physical potato guns themselves.
So people could choose their level, and it moves them up naturally. Another example was the friend selling custom suits.
Oh yeah, the free cufflinks.
Exactly. The cufflinks were the bait. Free, desirable, attracted the right kind of person interested in style.
Someone who might eventually want a custom suit.
Precisely. It gets them in the door, builds a little trust, shows quality, then you can guide them up that ladder towards the bigger purchase, the suit. It feels logical, not like a huge jump.
Okay, and within funnels, there's this specific type called a lead funnel. What's the focus there?
So lead funnels aren't primarily about the immediate sale. Their main job really is to collect leads.
Contact info, basically. Email addresses.
Usually email addresses, yeah. It's about building your audience, your list. They typically have 5 core parts.
Okay, what are those?
You need a lead magnet. That's the valuable free thing you offer.
The ethical bribe. Right.
Pretty much. Then a landing page where people sign up for it. A thank you page after they sign up, maybe with a small upsell sometimes.
Okay.
Then potentially a sales page introduced later. And crucially, a follow-up funnel.
Which is usually email automation.
Yes. A sequence of emails to nurture that new lead, build the relationship, and eventually introduce offers.
The doubleyourdating.com example fits here, right? Even Pagan's thing.
Perfect example. He gave away valuable dating advice, the lead magnet got email addresses, and then built a huge business selling courses to that list.
All right, so you've got your funnels, maybe a lead funnel running, but you need people to actually enter them. That's traffic generation.
The next big piece, absolutely. And the books break traffic down into 3 main types.
Right. There's traffic you control. That's like your email list, your social media followers you can directly message, your assets. Then there's traffic you don't control.
Like people finding you through Google search SEO or just, organic reach on social.
Exactly. It's less predictable. You don't own that pathway directly. And the third is paid traffic.
Ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, etc.
Yep. You pay to play, basically. And the big goal, stressed throughout the material, is to convert as much traffic as possible into traffic you own.
Because the email list is king.
It's reliable, it's direct communication, it's incredibly valuable.
Which brings us to the Dream 100. I thought this is a really smart concept.
It really is. It flips the script on traffic generation. Instead of trying to find millions of individual customers,
you find the places they already hang out online.
Yes. Find the key influencers, the blogs, the podcasts, the Facebook groups, the YouTube channels where your ideal customers are already congregated. The people who already have their attention.
Exactly. Identify your Dream 100, those key people or platforms, then focus your energy on building relationships with them.
How do you do that effectively, though, without just seeming needy?
That's key. It's not about just asking for promotion. It's about figuring out how to serve them first. Buy their products, promote their stuff, offer value, build a real connection, then eventually explore collaborations.
Like getting one influencer on board could bring thousands of the right people.
Potentially, yes. The Rachel Hollis example is mentioned. Her huge book launches weren't just her own audience.
Right. She intentionally targeted the audiences of her Dream 100.
Yeah.
People whose readerships overlapped with hers.
Exactly. Leveraging existing communities. Very powerful.
But hang on, before you even think about traffic or Dream 100, the books say you need clarity on who you're actually trying to reach, your dream customer.
Absolutely fundamental. If you don't know exactly who you're trying to serve, you end up with, well, nightmare clients sometimes.
The ones who drain all your energy and aren't a good fit.
Right. So you need to consciously define that ideal person. What are their pains, their passions, their goals, their demographics? Get really specific.
What kind of questions help you nail that down?
Well, think about what keeps them up at night. What are their biggest frustrations related to your niche? What are their secret aspirations? Where do they hang out online? What's their day like? The more vivid the picture, the better.
And once you know who they are, how do you figure out how to reach them or what appeals to them?
The advice is pretty practical. Don't reinvent the wheel. Look at who's already successfully serving your dream customer.
Model what's working.
Exactly. Find successful competitors or people in similar niches. What kind of funnels are they using? What language resonates? What offers are popular?
And there are tools for this, right?
Yeah.
Like SimilarWeb?
Yeah. Tools like that can give you insights into where competitors get their traffic, who their audience is. It's like competitive intelligence for online business. Gives you a huge head start.
Okay, so you know your dream customer, you know where they are. Now you need to actually connect with them. This is where the attractive character idea comes in.
Yes. This is about building a persona, essentially, that your audience can connect with and relate to. It's the face of your brand.
But it's not about being fake or creating some kind of like superhero version of yourself.
No, quite the opposite, actually. Authenticity is key. One of the core elements is sharing your flaws, your struggles. People connect with vulnerability, not perfection.
Makes sense. Nobody relates to someone who seems to have it all figured out perfectly.
Right. And the other key element is polarity. Don't be afraid to have opinions, to stand for something, even if it turns some people off.
Because trying to please everyone means you resonate deeply with no one.
Exactly. It attracts your true tribe, the people who really align with your message and values.
And there are different types, like the reporter.
Yeah, the reporter shares discoveries, interviews experts. Then there's the reluctant hero, someone who maybe didn't want to be in the spotlight, but felt compelled to share what they learned through their own struggles.
Like sharing your own journey.
Mm-hmm. And this attractive character is crucial for building that email relationship, which leads to the soap opera sequence.
Yes, the 5 emails. Tell us about that sequence.
It's a really clever way to quickly bond with new subscribers. It's like a mini story arc delivered via email over 5 days.
Okay, what's the arc?
Email 1 sets the stage, introduces your world. Email 2 dives into high drama or your backstory, a major challenge. Email 3 reveals your big epiphany, the turning point.
The aha moment.
Right. Email 4 highlights the hidden benefits of the solution or path you discovered. And email 5 creates urgency and gives a clear call to action, often leading to your first offer.
It takes them on an emotional journey quickly.
Exactly. And after that initial sequence, the advice is to send regular, almost daily Seinfeld emails.
Named after the show about nothing.
Sort of, yeah. They're short, entertaining, relatable emails drawn from everyday life, but they always tie back, even subtly, to your core message or offers. It keeps you top of mind and builds the relationship beyond just selling.
Okay. Shifting gears a bit to a major sales tool discussed, the perfect webinar. Now, the name suggests live events, but it's broader, right?
Oh, much broader. The structure, the psychology behind it can be adapted for video sales letters, VSLs, live stage presentations, even automated webinars or parts of email sequences. It's a powerful selling framework.
So what's the core structure? How does it flow?
It typically starts with an intro to build rapport and establish authority. Then comes the main content section, which is really interesting.
How so?
It's not just about teaching stuff. It's designed to systematically break down the audience's existing false beliefs and then rebuild them with new beliefs that align with your solution.
False beliefs about?
3 main things. The vehicle itself, your product or method, their internal beliefs, what they believe about their own ability to succeed, and their external beliefs, limiting beliefs about outside circumstances or resources.
Wow. Okay, so you're actively reshaping their mindset.
Precisely. You address those objections head-on through stories and teaching. After the content comes the transition to the offer, often using something called the stack.
The stack. What's that?
Instead of just saying, here's my course, it costs X, you break down every single component of your offer, the core product, bonuses, community access, checklists, whatever. You assign a value to each piece and stack them up visually or verbally.
So the total perceived value becomes huge compared to the actual price.
Exactly. It makes the offer seem incredibly valuable and the price feel like a bargain. Then comes the close.
Which isn't just asking for the sale at the end.
No, it involves careful timing for the price reveal, strong justification for that price based on the stacked value, and usually adding urgency and scarcity like limited time bonuses or spots to encourage immediate action.
And there are smaller closes throughout, like trial closes.
Yes, asking engaging questions during the presentation to get micro commitments, like, does that make sense? Or, can you see how this would work for you? It keeps them engaged and surfaces objections early.
What about specific closing techniques mentioned?
There are several, like the US versus them close, positioning those who take action as the committed ones, the doers, or the only excuses close, where you proactively tackle common reasons people might hesitate: time, money, belief.
That sounds quite direct.
It can be, yeah. There's also mention of an invisible funnel webinar, a premium model where people pay after the webinar only if they got value. Quite bold.
Interesting. And for high-ticket stuff.
There's the 3-step application funnel. That uses maybe a case study video followed by a detailed application form to qualify leads before you even talk to them. It pre-frames the value and filters people.
And for simpler things like just getting webinar signups.
The who, what, why, how script is suggested. A concise formula, who this is for, what you're going to teach, why they need it now, how to get it, simple and effective.
A lot of this hinges on connecting emotionally, and that seems to be where the epiphany bridge comes in powerfully.
Absolutely critical. It's storytelling, but with a specific purpose to lead your audience to the same realization, the same aha moment that you had about your solution or method.
So you're bridging the gap between their current understanding and the new perspective you want them to adopt.
Exactly. You share your own story, your struggles, and the epiphany that changed everything for you in a way that resonates with their struggles and desires.
Or they're key elements to structuring that story.
Yeah, the book suggests thinking about questions like, what was your backstory? What did you desire externally, like money, a result, and internally, like feeling respected, secure? What was the wall you hit?
The big obstacle.
Right. Then what was the epiphany? What was the plan you created after that? What conflicts did you face implementing it? What was the achievement and ultimately the transformation?
It sounds like a classic hero's journey structure almost.
Very similar. And the emphasis is really on tapping into those deeper internal desires, the universal human needs for things like love, acceptance, status, security. That's where the real connection happens.
And using these stories helps break those false beliefs we talked about earlier.
Yes. If someone thinks, this sounds good, but it probably wouldn't work for me, hearing your story of overcoming similar doubt or obstacles can bridge that gap. It shows them it's possible. It models the path.
Okay, going beyond individual connection, there's this idea of creating a culture, not in a negative sense, but like building a movement.
Exactly. A positive community, a tribe around your brand and message. It fosters incredible loyalty and engagement.
What are the essential ingredients for that?
3 core things. A charismatic leader, which loops back to your attractive character. The cause, the bigger mission or purpose that unites everyone. And a new opportunity.
The new opportunity being your product or service.
Yes, the specific vehicle you offer that allows people to participate in the cause and achieve the desired transformation. It gives them hope for a better future, a clear path forward.
So it's about identity and belonging.
Very much so. The Lady Boss weight loss example is cited. They built a really strong community identity, a shared language, a sense of us. It dramatically helps with retention and enthusiasm.
Underneath a lot of the decision-making, the books highlight the power of status. This seems really fundamental.
It's a huge, often subconscious driver. People are constantly, instinctively evaluating whether an action or purchase will increase or decrease their status.
And status isn't just about money.
Not at all. It can be about feeling smarter, being perceived as wealthier or more stylish, feeling happier, having more power or influence, even improving physical appearance. It's multifaceted.
How does understanding status help in marketing?
It explains why framing your offer as a new opportunity is so potent.
Why is that?
Well, discovering something new inherently increases status. You're in the know, you have an edge. It also avoids the pain of admitting past methods failed, and it offers a fresh dream that greener pastures appeal. People are drawn to the potential for improvement without dwelling on past setbacks.
Through all these strategies and techniques, though, there's a recurring theme about the core intention.
Yes, it always comes back to genuine contribution and getting results. The ultimate focus has to be on truly serving your audience,
helping them achieve real, tangible outcomes.
Absolutely. And there's that interesting point. Those who pay attention.
Meaning when people invest money, they're more committed.
Generally, yes. They have skin in the game. They're more likely to engage, do the work, and therefore get results. Which then helps you, of course, with the testimonials and proof.
Which ties into the idea of maybe even working for free initially.
Right, especially when starting out. Getting those first few case studies, those powerful testimonials by delivering amazing results, even for free, can be invaluable for building credibility.
Okay, one final point for people maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed by all these layers, funnels, characters, webinars.
Information overload is real, both for us learning and for our audiences.
So how do we avoid overwhelming our customers?
The concept of positioning your offer as the magic bullet solution comes up. Not in a scammy way, but
more like simplifying the message.
Exactly. Focusing on the single most important result your offer delivers. Presenting it as the clear, direct path to that specific outcome in a reasonable time frame. It cuts through the complexity and gives people clarity.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, wow. There's a lot there, but it all connects, doesn't it?
It really does. You see how the funnel structure leads people up the value ladder, how the attractive character builds the relationship needed for that journey, how strategic traffic gets the right people into the funnel,
and how things like the perfect webinar structure and epiphany bridge storytelling are the tools you use to communicate value and overcome resistance along the way.
And it's all underpinned by understanding those deeper motivations, the desire for status, for new opportunities, for belonging to a culture, but rooted, hopefully, in a genuine desire to contribute and help people get results.
At the end of the day, it's about service.
That seems to be the core message woven through all the techniques. Focus on serving, focus on results.
So here's a final thought for you listening. Thinking about your own business or idea, which piece needs the most attention right now? Is it clarifying your value ladder? Honing your attractive character? Maybe mapping out that epiphany bridge story?
Or perhaps defining that compelling new opportunity you offer? What's the single biggest thing you could adjust to better connect with your audience and genuinely inspire them towards the future they want?
Something to definitely chew on. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.